Is this a bait? Whatever, I'm taking it. Oh shoot, it's not even a bait. That's crazy. Well, this deck is still pretty good. Hey everyone, before we get into the video, I just want to quickly announce a Labor Day sale that I'm running. It's a Labor Day sale, but it's running from now until Monday at midnight EST. It's a buy 2 get 2 free or buy 3 get 3 free using the codes Labor2 or Labor3 respectively. And I also have my Dawn sets, the Luffy Will Be King, as well as this Warlords Dawn set at 25% off, you guys. You guys heard it right, 25% off. And I still have a couple of the newly dropped Lakers pudding as well, so make sure to grab that for your NBA collection. But yeah, check it out, guys. A ton of new releases, ton of stuff on the site. And this is valid until Monday night. And so with that being said, let's get to the video. Hey, what is up everyone? It's Adakai TCG, and I'm coming at you with an interesting deck profile. It's my first iteration of the Red-Green Law OP08. And the reason why I'm playing this leader in this deck is because I kind of wanted to see how the Chopper engine runs in Red-Green Law. I was playing Zuro the other day, and that deck just floods the board so quickly. And I wanted to take those concepts and try to kind of apply that in a miniature version in Law and see if it has legs to stand on. And so this is my first iteration. Again, this deck list is not complete by any means, but I did want to share out the core concept, and I'll talk about kind of what your goals are with this deck. And if you've played OP01 Law before, it's pretty similar goals, but I do think that there are cool ways to start cheating out a lot of different stuff. And so, yeah, we'll talk about the leader first. So this Law is an OP01 leader. For those of you who may have joined late, its leader ability is activate main once per turn. You can rest 2 Dawn, and if you have 5 characters on the board, return 1 character to the owner's hand, then play 1 character with a cost of 5 or less from your hand that is a different color than the return character. And so the value you're trying to get is to return a low-cost character, then cheat out a 5-cost character of a different color, and you get just a ton of value. You get a ton of on-play recursions, and it's just a really, really strong effect as long as you can maintain that 5 characters on the board. And so, let's talk about the choppers first, because I think that's the most interesting thing. And so one of the things that this Law wants to do is just get a board full of 5 characters so that we can start leveraging our leader ability. And so the cool thing about the Chopper engine is this little guy, he's a 3-cost 5k body. He's from the 08 set, and so he's going to be dropping soon. But on your turn, on play and when attacking, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. And from among them, play up to 1 animal type character with a power of 4k or less rested. Then place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. And so you are looking at the top 5 cards, getting information about your deck, playing out any of the other choppers that we have in this deck. And so we'll go over this one first. He's a 3-cost 4k chopper with a 1k counter. And on play, he lets you play an animal type character with a cost of 3,000 power or less from your hands. And so he's able to play, and this is from the 04 set. He's able to play your 2-cost, 2k power, 2k counter chopper, right? Because it's an animal type that's 3,000 power or less. Or, what the better play is, he's able to play your blocker chopper for free. And so in a turn, if you have blocker chopper in hand, you could and this 3-cost chopper, you can play this chopper, pick up this chopper, play this chopper rested, allowing you to play the blocker chopper active for free. Now you just got three bodies on the board for the price of 1. Really strong at filling out the board. And yeah, this chopper can play any of the other choppers. This chopper can play these 2 choppers. It's just a good time, right? And then this chopper is from the EB set. He's a blocker, which is fantastic because Law is a 4-life leader and the blockers come in really, really handy. But he does have a secondary effect that's really good into the meta right now, which is Dawn times 2 when attacking, give one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power for this turn. And so, if those of you who don't know, Law is a deck that typically goes wide with a ton of paper cut-like hits. And so, sometimes these really tall bodies are really hard to deal with for Law, right? Because we typically want to recycle things like Zoro, recycle things like, I don't know, our Law and Kid Killers. And so, we're typically spending most of our Dawn bouncing things back, playing things back out again, and swinging like the 5s and 7s, right? But this guy giving minus 3,000 power allows us to reduce something that's a higher power character, and then start swinging into it a bunch of times, either forcing a bunch of counters out of our opponent's hands or taking care of that character on the board. And so that paired with the Otama, which is able to give minus 2,000 power for the turn, is fantastic, right? That's a 5k swing onto a character's power, which makes it pretty much swingable into any body on the board. And so very, very strong effects. And so, yeah, this chopper engine is really kind of cool. And the other cool thing is our first searcher we're going to talk about, Nami, searches every single one of these choppers, right? And so Nami becomes this toolkit searcher who's able to search, you need a rush character, you can search Zoro or Luffy. Or do you want like a blocker? You got your 3-drop blocker and 1-drop blocker here. Do you need more bodies? If Nami can search this chopper can search even deeper for some of these other play lines that we have. And so she's able to even search out a 2K too, which is fantastic. And so there's like this built-in synergy with the Straw Hats, or chopper being Straw Hats, and then us running this Nami searcher. Moving on to the Supernovas now, though, the second searcher that we're running is, of course, the Jewelry Bonney. This Jewelry Bonney is helping us pick out the other half of our deck, which is going to be like the Law, which is the lynch. This is like the cornerstone of the whole deck. This is what allows the deck to be functioning. We'll talk about them in a second, but also lets you search out things like your Beige, your Kid Killer, your Cavendish, and also your Zoro and Luffy. And so you have multiple ways to access your rush characters or some of these bigger bodies that you're going to want to swap into. And so very, very versatile, very consistent deck, right? And one thing we didn't talk about is this deck has a really high skill ceiling in that we have, 11 different ways that we are digging 5 into our deck, right? And so it's Nami, the Chopper, and the Bonney. And 2 of those ways could be more than once, right? And so where the skill ceiling lies now is with this many times that we're digging 5 into our deck, we are cycling through our deck completely. And so one of the skill ceilings that a lot of Law players had, kind of like Nami players, it's anything that's put at the bottom of your deck, you can count and know what to search at a certain point, right? Because you've placed the remaining 4 at the bottom, or possibly remaining 5 if you whiff the search. But those 5 will eventually get back to the top of the deck once you do enough searches, right? And so towards the late game, if you have the capacity to remember enough, you should know exactly which searcher to drop to pick out the exact pieces that you want and need for a game. And so with a lot of practice, this deck can just be super consistent and super, Yeah, just like you're able to have that, hit that really high ceiling. And so we'll talk about the 5-drop Law. And so he's a 5-cost 6k power. He's a blocker, which is great because we need it as a 4-life leader. And on play, you can return 1 character from your hand and then play 1 character which costs a 3 or less from your hand. So this guy, you're often cheating it out with your leader ability, right? You're maybe replacing one of these 1-cost red bodies, and then you're playing this guy out. He's able to grab another character from your board and then play out another 3-cost. It could be the same color too, right? And so typically you're constantly recycling your Otamas, your Namis, or even your Zoros, right? You're picking up a Zoro, playing a Zoro, and then swinging again. And so you can do that with the chopper as well if you want to search for other things. But yeah, typically this is very, very strong. And there's ways to kind of abuse this too, right? And so some games I was testing, like I had a chopper out, or I would play a chopper because the opponent got rid of my whole board. Chopper would play something else. I'd hard play the Law, and then grab back the chopper, play the chopper again, who plays something else. And now if you're at the Tendon, you can still leader ability, right? And so that's crazy. And so, yeah, very, very strong synergies here. We are running 2 copies of Cavendish. He's on play, and when attacking, if your leader is a Supernova type, which you are, and you have no other Cavendish on the field, you can set 2 Dons active. In a deck that's constantly, using Don to cycle out cards, this Cavendish is so great because you're able to kind of get the extra Don that you need to really make some of these amazing playlines happen, right? And so there's that. And the other addition I added was 2 of the 5-drop carrots. I really kind of want to run this at 3 of at least because it's so strong. But it's a 5-cost 6k body. And on play and when attacking, up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 7 or less do not become active during your next owner's refresh phase. And so, it being a 6k power body, it's a little harder to remove. And it's on play and when attacking. And so Law, as a 4-life leader, doesn't want to get swung into that often. And so this carrot being able to kind of consistently lock down a 7-cost body is so much value, right? Especially because we're honestly getting this cheated out for free, right? When we're swapping one of these red Lobies back to our hand. And so very cool cards, very cool synergies. Of course, you guys know what Kid Killer does. Just a great finisher. You can even play him early because you can just bounce him right back to your hand to protect him and send him out again. It's just so many playlines, guys. And the last 2 cards that I ran, so I was running like Rad Beams, but you know what? I wanted to be a little spicy, and I do love this card, and so I am running 2 copies of You Can Be My Samurai. Law does suffer from sometimes hand size reductions, right? And so just being able to rest 2 characters and draw 2 cards, then Shambles to play out a Law, and basically Law can grab the other rested character and play out another character active means you're both protecting your board state and drawing 2 cards, right? And so very, very good card. I think it helps you really round out the deck. And so I felt okay dropping the Rad Beams just because I'm running so many blockers in this deck. You know, we got the 4 Laws, the 4 Choppers, the 4 1-drop Toppers, and 2 Beiges. And so you're not running any shortage of blockers in this deck. And so, this is the deck as a whole. I think there's just so many synergies and still playlines that I'm discovering as I'm playing through it. One card I'm trying to find a way to tech in is actually the 5-drop Restand Law. I think that card gets more and more value just as we, like just being able to restand something that you've committed onto, or maybe even a Cavendish to swing twice because this ability can proc more than once. Really strong. And actually even your carrot too, right? Does it restand just the Supernova? I think it just restands Supernova, but just being able to restand some of these characters is fantastic. It'll just help you close out games or get rid of bodies that are a little bit harder to remove. And so maybe I might drop like one of these three cost 4k choppers and I don't know, one other card to kind of squeeze 2 in. But yeah, give this deck a try. It's actually really, really fun. I swear you won't be disappointed by it. It's just a ton of fun to run right now. And so with that being said, let's get into some gameplay. Hey, what is going on YouTube? It's Atakai, and here is the first game. I am testing out the Red-Green Law with a few 08 updates. We will see what we can do with this leader. I'm not sure if this deck is good or jank. I guess we'll find out, right? And so here, I think I'm just gonna double summon and then say pass. Yeah, so the concept around this deck is I added in a lot of choppers. I was playing Zero before, and it just swarmed so quickly. I kind of wanted to take that same concept and see what I can do with a law list, and so we'll see how that goes. Here, let's see. We still are a bit early, so we'll just drop, and we'll just go and attack. This in turn will set us up for a good turn 3. I'm willing to drop down to 2 life, and then we'll kind of play it from there and see what happens. This one, although I do like the Cavendish, I think the carrot will actually come in a little bit more relevant. So we'll take that, and then we'll just counter out here. And now we can mount our counter attack. Oh, very interesting. So here, put a Dawn here. We'll swing. Oh, is it 2 Dawn? It is 2 Dawn. I messed that up already. That's okay, because we still have quite a few things we can do. We'll get rid of his whole board here. We'll lead our ability. We'll take back counter chopper, play, use, and I'll actually resummon, block the chopper. Here I'm gonna block with my baby chopper. If she Reijus, I will lock it with the carrot. Block. I meant Reiju, not Reiju, Ichiji's. Yeah, so I'm willing to let this chopper go too. I do want to stay at 2 life here. Here, deploy, swing. I guess I only need, we'll look for, take another law. How greedy do I want to be? Nah, I think we need to get the carrot on the board, so that is exactly what we'll do. We'll swing here. We'll get this back, lock that, and we'll say pass. If we play our cards right, this Ichiji will never stand again. We'll let this go. That's fine. We are in a great spot right now. We will just keep swinging. So 3 and 2, leaving with 2 Dawn. That's fine. Just has so many attacks. Jesus. And I still had the Law coming out with another Zoro cycle. Yeah, so Law is still pretty good, at least into the Reiju matchup. We'll see and test it out a few more times into a few different matchups, though. Alright, so we're up against the Bonney player, which is a little problematic just because you can rest my stuff. But you know what? We're still going to try to make this work. And we'll still try our best, fam. Take the first hits. We'll go swing here. That's fine. Counter out of that one. Am I gonna get lucky? Ooh, I got lucky. Let's just swing 6 here. Then we will return this, play this, use this, grab that. And we'll go 5 again. Lawn chopper. Lawn choppers. It's doing chopper things. Get the chopper family. Law and chopper. Do I want to go down to 1 life? I think we need to get rid of that Cavendish. Let me see, 5. The hard play leaves me with 1 Don to work with. But you know what? That's okay. We will choose nothing. Freeze that. We'll do this. Play this. Use this. Play this. And we will go 6 here. And we'll see pass. He definitely won't let that go. At least not without a fight. Go 7. We'll freeze this guy. Oh, he didn't freeze anything of mine. That's actually kind of crazy. Is this a bait? Whatever, I'm taking it. Oh shoot, it's not even a bait. That's crazy. Well, this deck is still pretty good.